It's 2024, my 9th season mining in the Yukon. We put our Cat D10T up against our brand new toy, a Liebherr 776, and we were shocked by what we pulled out of the ground that year. Let's go find out what happened. As usual, we head up in April, and as usual, there's a lot of snow, it's cold. We get to the bottom of our claims where we left our 10T so we could plow into camp. And this year the batteries were dead, so hook up the trucks, jump start the 10, and off we go. So crest the hill, coming down into our camp, and the entire thing is covered in ice. We get in there with the 10 and start pushing that ice out. Once we got over the little bit of shell shock of having all this ice in camp, my first thought was, oh man, what's it look like up top in our cut? When we had left off last fall, we found that hot paystreak, and we knew that yes, our assets were frozen until spring, but man, we'll be able to get up here and start digging right away because we know it's there. Like, let's just give her, right? And lo and behold, a glacier was covering the entire area. It's like, okay, those assets are going to be froze for a little bit longer. So now the question became, what do we do? Do we wreck our equipment and try and rip out that glacier? So you have to think smart. Yes, we'll go up there every once in a while and try and help it thaw, not to the detriment of our equipment or taking a lot of time, because we know the gold's there, so that's fine. We'll save that for our kind of a rainy day fund once it melts. But in the meantime, now what do we do? Okay, so we've got this like super deep cut down by our camp. If we're gonna tackle that and do it in a timely manner, we need another bulldozer. There's no way I'm gonna be able to finance another D10. But Alan, in his research genius, started looking at Liebherrs. And a Liebherr 776 is about equal to a D10T. The price was right. Literally a quarter of the cost for one that was 12 years newer than our 10 and had the 5th of the hours. So I pulled the plug and I financed a Liebherr. And you see that thing and it looks mean. It looks bigger than a 10. It's 160,000 pounds of steel and pure meanness, really. I looked at it and went, that looks like a stormtrooper off Star Wars, right? Because it's black and white and it's just this big hunk of metal. I'm like, I'm gonna call it Stormy. There's no way we can haul that thing up until the road bans are off. So it's gonna sit until July, probably. So we can attack the deep ground because we'll do that later. The glacier cut is under a glacier and that's going to be there for a while. So now we need something else. So we stripped this little cut basically 150 feet from camp. And we did an actual test. We took 3 dump truck loads up to the trommel, so 100 yards. We ran it for an hour, cleaned the top mat. There's gold. There was like 2 ounces of gold in that mat. Well, now we've found our ground while we wait for the bear. In some places it was deep and in some it was super easy, but we followed that. The gold it never stopped. While we're doing that, we still kept checking on the glacier cut, and even in the end of June, the amount of ice still on there was insane. So Liam thought, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna help it melt. I'll take the dogs up there and we're gonna do like a slip and slide on the ice glacier. You know, some of us miners would really attack that ice and go to war with it. We just decided to let nature take its course and build our own little icy water park to have fun with during the summer when it got hot. So by now, it's July. Road bans are off. Our bear is loaded on the trucks. It's on its way. super excited to get this thing. They never talk about this in reality shows because I think they get their trucking for free. But I will tell you that I got a friends and family rate, and to haul that 160,000 pound machine was $90,000 Canadian. That's the reality of what some of these things cost. Up it comes, and these guys brought it all the way out to our site. We were the first people in the Yukon to bring a Liebherr up here. So when it was parked on the bottom of Hunker before they came out, everybody, it was like the talk of the town. There was so many people coming to look at it to see what it was all about. And the next hurdle was getting over the love for cat. Like, Alan bleeds yellow, and a lot of you guys that are watching do, and I get it. I was the same way. I don't have as much experience as a lot of you, but I understand the love for cat. I'm in there just happier than a clam, pushing away, and it's so quiet in that cab. I can turn when my blade is full because of hydrostatic drive. Alan, at first, he wanted nothing to do with it. He's like, oh, no, I'm gonna stick in my cat. And then once he saw what that Liebherr could do, we have shared custody over our little stormtrooper there. But I will tell you, it will outrip a 10 so far. I'm so proud of that machine, and it's mine. We now had 2 big dozers, 160,000 pounds each. Alan and I sitting there just stripping this ground twice as fast as we would have been able to do before, and just going after it. We were in our happy place. We let the dirt fly. And by that time, we were fixated on this ground that had started by our camp because it was just good, and it was consistent, and it was easy to get to. And we just followed this paystreak like a hound dog on a scent. You know it's going to be okay because it didn't stop. Like the gold, we were anywhere from 3/4 of an ounce an hour to 2 ounces an hour when it was good. And that was the start of gold price going up. Like by the time we were doing this, it was well over $2,000 an ounce US. The gold, it was chunky again. We had nuggets. You couldn't wait to haul that dirt up to the plant and see what was in those sluice runs at the end of the day. And every day was almost a celebration. Like, just after everything Alan and I had been through for all the years, and to finally experience a year like that, I guess it's worth the wait. You've worked your ass off every year and overcome so many obstacles. Yeah, now it's my turn. I deserve it. We deserve this. We've busted our butts getting here, and I hope everybody gets to experience that at least once in their lifetime. I mean, if that was it, I'm okay with it because it was that good. But I hope you all get to experience the same feeling no matter what industry you're in. It was so good. I went to town and bought a ton of fireworks and some champagne, and we had our last cleanup, and it looked good. It was epic. Shut her down and drank champagne and lit those fireworks. We had a ball. That's the way I hope everybody could end their season, because there's not another feeling like it in the world. Now for the exciting part. Starting at the beginning of June, I have got a pro coming up to help me film hopefully what you guys are interested in seeing in the realities of mining up here and everything that happens along the way, no BS. We are going to be putting out at least 1 episode a week, about 20 minutes long, and also we're really hoping to do a live. So that's either going to be a cleanup, a gold weigh, what went wrong. You're going to be in it with me all the way along. It is no longer going to be me sitting in a trailer recounting my past traumas and triumphs every year. I'm very thankful for that. Now it is going to be live action. What happens as we're digging? What happens when we're sluicing? You're going to see it all with me. And I'm super excited to share that with you. And I don't know what it's gonna bring. I hope it's good, but I hope you follow along to find out with me, because it's always better with friends. Until then, may your beer be cold and your pans heavy. Cheers.